You may be a liberal Zionist. You may be a Likud-style Zionist and want to kill everyone. But many people don't even know what these terms mean. So you're a Zionist if you support the existence of Israel. Even if you don't support arming them. You're like, hey, Israel exists. They're allowed to exist. And they tend to condemn, and just a characteristic, they tend to condemn people who want to erase Israel, like the Palestinian resistance. The difference between Zionism and what we need to start calling it is Jewish supremacy. Jewish supremacy is the belief that Jewish people are above the law, that they can do whatever they want to these Gentiles. So when Israel bombs 7 different countries and they believe they're above international law, they wage war against international courts, that's rooted under the idea of Jewish supremacy. So calling Israel bombing all their other neighboring countries, calling that just Zionism is not enough. All right, let's get to some real news. We'll cover some real news. Like, this is what I really care about. The insane war crime of Israel striking Qatar. And we're going to break down the insane mainstream media propaganda where they are trying to pretend that the West has nothing to do with this. So Arab countries have revealed themselves to be cucks once again, trusting the United States and Israel when they are willing to bomb their own allies. They're willing to do everything they can to implement Jewish supremacy. So you guys realize that Israel has bombed 7 countries over the last 2 months. Now do you guys see why I call it Jewish supremacy? Zionism is the belief that Jewish people should have their own homeland in Israel. That's why if you believe that Israel has the right to defend itself, you're a liberal Zionist. There's so many people who don't understand this stuff. So there are people who were surprised when I called Zohran Mamdani a liberal Zionist. There are people in the Palestinian movement who got yelled at for saying, hey, they was like, hey man, Zohran Mamdani isn't an anti-Zionist. Because if you're an anti-Zionist, you're not supportive. You don't support the original sin of the Nakba. You don't acknowledge the British mandate. We support free Palestine from the river to the sea. That's what we support. And if you don't support that, you ain't Zionist. You may be a liberal Zionist. You may be a Likud-style Zionist and want to kill everyone. But many people don't even know what these terms mean. So you're a Zionist if you support the existence of Israel. Even if you don't support arming them. You're like, hey, Israel exists. They're allowed to exist. And they tend to condemn, and just a characteristic, they tend to condemn people who want to erase Israel, like the Palestinian resistance. The difference between Zionism and what we need to start calling it is Jewish supremacy. Jewish supremacy is the belief that Jewish people are above the law, that they can do whatever they want to these Gentiles. So when Israel bombs 7 different countries and they believe they're above international law, they wage war against international courts, that's rooted under the idea of Jewish supremacy. So calling Israel bombing all their other neighboring countries, calling that just Zionism is not enough. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm supposed to get super chats. We piling up here. I don't want to get behind. So that's an intro to our next segment. So I get super chats next, so I don't get too behind. I read this one and this shit made me laugh, so I got into another rant. Oh man, let me see what you guys are saying. I had so much stuff to. I'm producing by myself, as you guys know I always do. I'm always in the lab cooking, so I haven't had a chance to watch the chat. I already know there's a ton of fucking right-wing tears in the chat. I already seen a few in the side of my eye because all my tweets are viral as fuck on X right now. And I posted a link to this stream. If you're in the chat, you're wondering why they're like these random salty Charlie Kirk fanboys. It's because I have all these viral tweets on Twitter, and I posted a link to this stream. So now we have damn near 1,000 people on YouTube, 7,000 people watching on across X and YouTube. Assuming these numbers are right, man. I see these X numbers. I'm like, bro, there's no way that's real. Because if the X number is real, we have 7,300 people watching this stream. If that's real, bro. Which is, man, I don't trust Elon Musk. Anyway, let's continue the super chats. He wanted smoke and he got it. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Stalin said it best. 7 grams of lead. Yeah, well said. Thank you, Amethyst. Let me if hell is real, Kirk troubles are just starting. Maybe Charlie Kirk can start a fire ass pro genocide podcast and have Satan as his first guest. Man. Charlie always said African culture was inferior. Meanwhile, white people want us to mourn this guy who dehumanized us at every opportunity. This man dehumanized black people, brown people at every opportunity, but for some reason we're supposed to mourn him. I'm not mad if you're like a better person than me. Like if you're a better person than me, and you're like, man, I hate when everyone dies, even my oppressors. Even if you kill children, if you are that much of a moralist, that's okay, man. That's you. But you can't look down on people who hate our oppressors. You can't look down on people who are not willing to fucking play these stupid ass dehumanizing games. You know what I mean? So I'm glad when I look at the super chats at least, and I'm looking at the comments now, like, man, we on the same page. Bro, Twitter, white America, even the white left, bro. I'm not mad at people like, I saw a lot of people naming people who was sad by this. My friend Glenn Greenwald. Glenn Greenwald, he's a friend of mine. I've been on the show many times before. He sent out a message of condolence. I saw people say Kit from Harlan's Media. He said it. He was like, I feel bad about this as well. Sarah from DDG. I got friends who are like, man, I feel bad about this. I don't care. That's fine. Like if that's how you want to move, that's okay. But we are past this era where we're gonna dehumanize ourselves by mourning our oppressors. It's 100% healthy to hate our oppressors. When you're fighting for liberation, you shoot to kill. They would not flinch if we died. So I'm keeping the same energy that this motherfucker had about George Floyd. If you're not on Twitter, bro, you missed out because we can't go a single goddamn day. We can't go a single goddamn day without a white motherfucker posting George Floyd. And you notice that all these white people, oh my God, I'm so sad about this. They never said anything about white people dehumanizing George Floyd. All these white people are saying that like, oh, we can't talk shit about Charlie Kirk. I don't see them ever going after their fellow white people who demonize and attack George Floyd. You want to know why? Because many of these people low-key have white solidarity. I said what I said. All right, let's move on. Thank you for the 1999 Marcus Smith for the solidarity super sticker. Compassion is a weakness fascists will not share. Very well said. Do you think Mossad may have had a hand in this in order to create a civil war psyop? I think there's a good possibility. We don't have the facts. Like I like speculation, and there's nothing wrong with theorizing. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with theorizing, but I have no facts to this. The reason why people are saying that Israel probably did this because there's an anecdotal story coming from a journalist that said that Charlie Kirk believed that Israel was going to kill him. But I can easily see the establishment who engages in psyop all the time doing this in general in order to crack down on free speech because they realized that anti-Semitism psyop wasn't working. Oh, what did Zoya say? You guys know I always gotta read Zoya chats, bro. This chat is so crazy. I know I'm missing all my favorites. Zoya, where your ass at? Nick is right. Hate your person. Big shout out to our boy Leroy. We got 1,000 people on YouTube now. Where the homies at, man? Here's Zoya. Mourn this racist. Some of you to a black guy. Yeah. What have you ever seen these people mourn their enemies? They cheered every single time they murdered a orphaned Hamas member. They had damn near holidays when Sinwar was murdered. Whenever a propagandist from Hamas is murdered, whenever a journalist is murdered, they say they deserve it. Oh, what? You support Hamas? You deserve it. Bari Weiss just got a fucking $3,000 billion contract for CBS, and she literally got Palestinian journalists executed because she doxed them and accused them of being an agent of Hamas. So her position was, if you support Hamas and you support Palestinian resistance, you deserve to die. So I commend you guys. If you are morally superior to me, and you like, I want to be above the fray, but I'm not fucking doing that shit. I am matching their energy, because being above the fray historically didn't save any disenfranchised Black or brown community, any victim of imperialism, any victim of capitalism. They didn't get their liberation by being nice, by mourning their oppressors. Yeah, I'm reading all you guys know. I'm reading all Zoya chats. Zoya loves Zoya's life. I'm not crying if something happens to Zelensky. I'm telling you all right now, without any illusions, that the system will continue without him since he was a puppet. Big shout out to Zoya's love, Zoya's life. So I'll read some more super chats later. Let's continue let's really get started with the Idril Qatar story, because I just did an intro to what we're going to discuss. So I had this up for a while. Idril bombed 7 countries in the region over the last few years, and Israelis have no idea. And pro-genocide people who are horrified. That's one of the reasons why people are upset when they see my reaction to Charlie Kirk dying. They're horrified because they realize that we're not going to forgive them for supporting genocide. It's simply not going to happen. You took a step too far. Post-war issues, who gives a fuck about that? Economic differences, frustrating, but who gives a shit about that? Genocide is unapologetically a step too damn far. And Israelis are feeling this all across the globe. Italian players cursed at us the whole game. That's what I would do. And that's why I kind of fell out of love with international soccer. Like, this is so morally bankrupt. I used to love watching international soccer. I love watching Champions League. Like, not even just the World Cup, but I used to love watching like European competitions like the Premier League, the La Liga, Bundesliga in Germany. Like, I'm a big fan of international soccer. You guys don't know that. But I don't watch it no more. Like, I'm honestly so sick to my stomach, because Israel is murdering 100 Palestinians per day. You guys realize that Palestine no longer has a functioning soccer team because the IDF murdered like 3/4 of the squad. You had pro-Palestinian soccer players who was murdered by the IDF. Meanwhile, Israel was allowed to compete. Meanwhile, Russia was immediately banned from FIFA and international competitions. What is that other than insane, racist dehumanization of people who the West view as their enemies? No one loves, or no one lives matter more than Jewish people, than Ukrainian people, than Western society people. If you're a Black, brown, Russian, people can commit all the crimes they want against you, they want, and they still be allowed to kick a ball around. And now they are even bombing these pathetic ghost states who are filled with Muslim Zionists, because we know that Zionism is a system of international imperialism that is bankrolled and sponsored by Christian Zionists, obviously by Jewish Zionists, but they get away and they get a lot of security guarantees. And a big part of what paved their way are these Muslim Zionists in the Middle East. Qatar being another one. So Qatar was bombed by Israel. And they want you to believe that they didn't see this coming. They want you to believe that there's nothing they could have done about this, despite the fact that they were just caught a few months ago shooting down Iranian missiles. So when Iran was firing missiles at Israel, Qatar had the capabilities to shoot down missiles that was targeting Israel. But Israel shoots some pathetic drone at Qatar, and they can't do anything about that? Do anyone think this is legit? And the West is now pretending that they had nothing to do with this attack, because these Zionist psychopaths, they will say that, and this is the biggest falsehood they will spread, they will say we can end the genocide at any time. I'm sure Charlie Kirk said the same thing. We can end the genocide at any time if you just get rid of the hostages and disarm Hamas. Now, we debunked this 1,000 times on the show, Because we know, unlike all these idiots who are lied about Hamas, and this is what we talk about in our intro hotspot video, everything you was told about Hamas is a lie. Do you guys know that Hamas offered at the beginning of this war that they would disarm and dismantle their organization if Israel and the international community gave them a Palestinian state? This is an offer that Hamas has made multiple times. So October 7th is directly responsible for your guys' failure in the West to facilitate a Palestinian state, which is originally outlined even in the British mandate. Because what a lot of people in the West don't know is that the creation of Israel by the UN was contingent on the creation of a Palestinian state. This is why Israel has been out of compliance with international law since their foundation. The amount of people in the West that don't understand this is mind-blowing. So since they are out of compliance with international law and they blocked the creation of the Palestinian state, which was contingent on the creation of the Israeli state, that means Hamas has all legal right to engage in armed defense of their country. Why is it so hard for people in the West to understand this very easy to understand issue? It is not complicated. It is very easy to understand. Israel is a legal apartheid settler colonial state that is created by the British Empire. The British Empire that don't have any humanitarian claim to Palestine. So all the people who believe that Israel inherently have a right to exist, that is not true. So now that you know this, now that you know the facts, there is no legitimate, legal, or moral argument that you can make against Hamas or armed struggle. But despite this, people are saying, oh, well, we know that Israel committed war crimes. I know we attacked our allies in Qatar, but it's okay. Don't you know we killed a few Hamas members? Don't you know we killed the son of one of the Hamas negotiators? So according to Zionist propaganda, which they got away with, they dehumanized Palestinians to the point where it's justified to murder them, even if you violate international law.